let's talk about the disadvantages of the menstrual cup, shall we? All right. So, reading my script again, is that you will have to look at your own blood. Live blood. So let's assume, because itakuwa inakaa hivi, depending on how red your blood is. So once you remove the menstrual cup, you see your own blood. Jokes. So you remove the menstrual cup, you pour it into the sink or the toilet, and then you rinse it, and then you reinsert it. So you have to look at your own blood. So the first time you'll be like, what the is this? Another time you would... Okay, let's not talk about how messy it can be. I'll talk about that later. Another disadvantage with the menstrual cup is that it can be a bit painful when you are removing it. That is for people who don't know how to remove the menstrual cup properly. So this is a menstrual cup. This is what you call the tail of the menstrual cup, this thing. Then here is what we call the base of the menstrual cup. Then we have our 4 holes here. So once you get your cup, you'll see. And then this is what we call the rim of the menstrual cup. So once the menstrual cup is inside there, folds, insert, pops open. So when you're removing it, so people don't know. So for people who don't know, that is, when you're removing the menstrual cup, all you need to do is wait for the tail, right? The tail. Pull it out just a little bit until you reach the base of the menstrual cup, right? Once you reach the base of the menstrual cup is when you pinch the cup to make what you call a suction, right? Then if you can't, you can fold the menstrual cup like this, not fully, just a little bit, and then you simply pull it out. It will come out easily. But most people don't know. Okay, again, for first time users, it will be painful when you just reach for the tail, then you pull it out. It will be painful. So there's a way you remove the menstrual cup. Another bad thing about the menstrual cup for me so far is that it can leak. The most annoying thing about the menstrual cup is leaking. Yes, I will not lie. Mine has leaked a few times, especially the first day. There was a time I gave up. I was like, I'm done. I am done. Yes, but once I practice, that's why I say practice. Don't give up. But once you know how to, you get the grip, you are good to go. But it can leak. It can leak for so many reasons. Why it can leak? Because once you insert it down there, it is not fully open. So let's say this is our vagina. You insert the menstrual cup. You see, it has not fully opened. So let's say there's a dent TV, right? So our cervix is here, right? So once the cervix finds, it's pumping blood, and then the menstrual cup is not fully open. So once there's a dent, the blood will simply come out heavy. Once it finds a space, it will leak out. So that's one of the reasons to why the menstrual cup leaks, because it is not fully open. Another reason as to why the cup might leak is because let me see. It is full, obviously. And you come out, you put a bucket on a tap, and then you go somewhere, and then you forget about it. When you come back, the water will have overflown. So I say, depending on how heavy your menstrual cup, your period is, you need to change the cup more often during your heavy days. So once it is full, obviously, it will, start, leaking, right? So you have to change your cup, how heavy your flow is. So you'll get used to it, and when you have to change your menstrual cup. So when it's full, obviously, it will start leaking, right? So don't forget about the menstrual cup down there. Another reason why the menstrual cup might leak is because you do not know where your cervix is. So let me see. What is a cervix? A cervix is where the menstrual blood comes out from, right? You need to know where your cervix is. Otherwise, your cup will leak, right? So how does your cervix feel like? Your cervix they say it feels like a donut or something hard, or like the tip of your nose, right? So you need to know where your cervix is. It is advised you feel your cervix during the first days of your period, right? So you will have to insert your finger down there to know where your cervix is, right? Some women have a low cervix, some women have a medium cervix, some women have a high cervix. So this is where the leaking comes about. So let's first of all find our cervix, right? So once you insert your finger down there, right, and what do you call this thing? You see your finger. So let's assume this is a low cervix. No, this is a low cervix, right? This is a medium cervix, and this is a high cervix, right? So once you insert your finger into your vagina, right, and once your finger reaches the first line, then you have a low cervix, right? If you insert your finger and your finger reaches the second line, then you have a medium cervix. But if you reach your whole finger inside and actually you cannot feel anything, then you have a high cervix. So you just feel something hard. It's actually there. It's the only thing that is hard. So once you go inside, you feel soft tunyamas or soft meat. Yeah, and then finally reach something hard. That is what you call your cervix. Yeah, sorry, you have to insert your finger down there. So this is where the menstrual cup and leaky comes in. So let's assume this is our cervix. So most women have a medium cervix, right? So let's say this is where the our cervix is, right? So you fold the cup, you insert into your vagina. So let's say you put the cup, it pops open, but you have pushed it way too high, right? So here is your cervix pumping blood. So your cup is supposed to be here, but your cup is here. Now you see, when it's pumping blood, it will flow outside, and your cup is supposed to be here to collect blood. I hope you get my grip. So that's the importance of knowing where your cervix is. Or let's say you have a low cervix, right? Again, the same thing. Let's say this is where the cervix is. So you put your cup, you push it way too high. Instead of it being here to collect blood, it's way up. So you need to know where your cervix is, kindly. And that's where the other disadvantage with the menstrual cup comes in, is that you will have to insert your finger down there. So your hands will get a little bit messy, so be ready for that. Yeah, you know, you will get your hands dirty. You will get your hands dirty or your finger dirty, one, when you are trying to make sure that the cup is open. So what I normally do is I insert my finger down there, you know, run my finger around the rim of the menstrual cup to make sure that there is no dent. Or I rotate the cup using the base just to make sure it is open. That's one way, or one reason as to why you have to get your hands bloody. Another reason as to why you get your hands bloody is, again, when you're trying to feel for your cervix. So we've said the best time to do this is during your period. So once you insert your finger and you remove it, yeah, expect this. Don't worry. Being a woman is hard. I know. Boy, what do we do? So that's a reason as to another disadvantage. Your hands will get a little bit messy. Yeah. Where are we? Another thing with the menstrual cup, again, if you're a first time user, it can take time to open. Even if you're a frequent user, this thing does happen. So once you fold your menstrual cup, insert it into your vagina, sometimes it does not automatically open. You have to remove it, have 1, 2, 3 attempts depending on your patience until your cup is open. So it does happen for me sometimes. I don't get it first time I insert it. I have to remove it, so that probably you inserted it and you feel uncomfortable. You're not supposed to feel uncomfortable when you are inserting the menstrual cup. So once you feel uncomfortable, please take it out and then reinsert it. You're not supposed to feel anything down there. So it's not always automatic once you insert the menstrual cup. Another disadvantage with the menstrual cup is that so I've said you need to know where your cervix is. Let me talk about the cervix again, why you need to know where it is. So I've said, one, just to know how high or low your cup should sit for it to collect blood. Another good thing of knowing where your cervix is when you are buying the cup. Some cups are meant for high cervixes, some cups are meant for low cervixes, and some cups are meant for medium cervixes. For example, for this one is made for a medium cervix, right? So it comes with a shorter tail. Just imagine if you have a high cervix and you use this cup, meaning when you insert the cup, it has to go a little bit high, right? So it's inside. So let's say this is our vagina. You see how small the tail is, right? So when you're trying to remove the menstrual cup, you will have a hard time removing the tail, right? So cups meant for high cervixes, they come with a longer tail, so that when you're removing the menstrual cup, we just reach for the tail. Right? Yeah, so once you know where your cervix is, to help you purchase the right menstrual cup. Chapter closed. Another not good bad thing about the menstrual cup is that you will need water. I said why your cup needs to be lubricated every time you insert the menstrual cup, so that you don't feel any pain down there. All right, and of course washing your hands every time you touch your menstrual cup. You have to make sure your hands are clean. Soap, water, of course you can use a sanitizer, you know, when you are in a public toilet. But yeah, soap, water, you need it when you're washing your hands, and just to make sure that the cup is lubricated well enough for you not to feel pain down there. Another bad thing with the menstrual cup is that there's an angle for insertion. Again, I never knew this until I did research, and yeah, I finally knew why. Sometimes when I inserted to the menstrual cup, I used to feel like my stomach is bloated, or I need to pee. No, like I'm just from peeing right now, and all of a sudden I feel like peeing. I mean, what is going on? Because there's an angle for insertion. So listen to me. Sometimes pooping, guy. So this is what happens. So I said there are two paths inside there, passages. One goes to the bladder, and one is where your cervix is, right? So once you fall, insert your menstrual cup, right? So once you insert the menstrual cup and it is inside your vagina, it should go backwards. It's called the tailbone. You are pushing your menstrual cup into the way of the tailbone, So once you insert the menstrual cup, you don't go up and then let it open. No, you need to insert it, right? Push it a little bit at the back in this angle, and then you release it. That's where the cervix is. Otherwise, if you just push it up there straight, it will go where the bladder is, and it will put pressure on your bladder, and then you feel the urge to pee. Don't say I did not warn you. There's an angle for insertion. You need to push it heading to your tailbone just a little bit. That's where the cervix is. Otherwise, umetoka kojoa salio and you feel like kojoaing, you will feel uncomfortable. You aren't supposed to feel uncomfortable when you insert the menstrual cup. Another bad thing with the menstrual cup, of course, this is Kenya, a developing country. It makes me so sad that not everyone can afford a menstrual cup, right? If you go to, let's say, Kibera, and you tell a family to buy, the girl in the family a menstrual cup for 3,000. It's not affordable to everyone. That's a bad thing with the menstrual cup. All right. Let me see. Have I forgotten anything? So lastly, I advise you. Let me see. Lastly, I would advise you, until you are comfortable with the menstrual cup, right? Every time you are using the menstrual cup, and you're a first-time user, you're not sure will it leak, just to remove that stress out of your head, I would advise you to wear a pad or a panty liner, just in case it leaks. Probably do not do the right thing. It's the first days, you don't know exactly how to go about it, so you might think, is it leaking, will it leak? That just to remove that that feeling from your head. I'd advise you to wear a panty liner or a pad in case anything happens, until you are comfortable using the menstrual cup in public. All right, so I will see you in the next video, when I'll be talking about how to insert, remove, and sterilize the menstrual cup.